I mean, like maybe they like their dogs better than Publix, but not much. I mean, it's one of the most popular brands in the state. It would have been malpractice to cut Publix out of assisting.
It would have been. That's absolutely correct. But, on the other hand, 60 Minutes' defense, Publix was closed on Sunday. You know why? It was Easter Sunday. That means they were catering to terrorists, Catholics. Christians.
Closed on Sunday. You my Chick-fil-A.
It's just one Sunday a year, 60 Minutes. It's not like Chick-fil-A.
But can Howie, I got to say this, though. Will's sister-in-law, my future sister-in-law, I guess, technically, she's from Florida. She's from Orlando. And she makes this amazing key lime pie every year for, I think it's Christmas or maybe Thanksgiving. And she makes it every year and everybody hems and haws over it. And, they rave about it. And so one time I asked her, I said, so you make a great key lime pie. Is it your favorite one to eat? Because I know she loves them so much. And she said, no. My favorite key lime pie in the world is from Publix. And I said, oh, really? Like the store-bought one? She goes, you can't beat a Publix key lime pie. And she's from Florida. It's very true. If you talk to a Floridian, they're passionate about their Publix.
You know what else Publix makes? And I don't eat it very much. Even though I've lost a lot of weight, I still can't afford to eat it. But they make the best store generic premium ice cream I've ever tasted.
Oh, they do.
But without a doubt, nothing comes. It's almost as good as say Richardson's in Massachusetts.
Howie, they make great subs too, sandwiches. Yeah. I mean, this isn't a Publix ad, but I'm just saying, if you're going to go after, he's absolutely right. It's not a good look. But I also want to.
It's like the market basket of Florida. Let's put it that way.
That's exactly what it is. It's cheap, but it's always good products. Howie, there's another interesting piece out that I think you'd appreciate. It's by one of my favorites, Jennifer Oliver O'Connell from Red State. And she always writes great things about Governor Gavin Newsom. She's kind of always on his tail, and she doesn't let up. And so she sees this 60 Minutes piece and she writes, 60 Minutes goes after the wrong governor, but I'm sure they don't care. And she kind of breaks down the hypocrisy of trying to insinuate that his campaign that the Publix campaign contribution means there was some sort of pay to play. And she gives two really good examples that I think you'll appreciate. One is that Pfizer gave Biden $372,000 and then waited until he was declared the winner to release their vaccine, even though it was ready in October 2020.
That's such a good, and Trump has made that point. He just mentions the fact that they waited until November 5th to release the news 2 days after the election was over, so that it wouldn't help him. That's a really good point.
It's the more well-known point in this, but it's worth reiterating because it's far more dangerous than, even if Ron DeSantis gave Publix the exclusive rights. I mean, one of those things seems a little bit shadier than the other.
You know how sometimes too 60 Minutes, I haven't watched it for a long time, but when I watched it, I'm sure they still do it. They like to do occasionally a lifestyle type piece, like lifestyles of the rich and famous or something like that. So why didn't they do this? Tonight, 60 Minutes visits the most expensive, exclusive restaurant in America, French Laundry. And then we could have some video of Gavin. The French Laundry is so exclusive that it damaged the political careers of two of the most wokest, brightest lights of California democracy.
Well, technically,
Gavin Newsom and then San Francisco Mayor London Breed. They went there on nights they followed in each other's footsteps going there to violate their own mask mandates. That's how good the food is at the French Laundry, where you can get a bottle of moderately priced Chardonnay for a mere $15,000. I can write this stuff in my sleep, Grace.
But Howie, don't you think that now the French Laundry, it's not only one of the most exclusive, beautiful people restaurants, but it's also a historical site? Because it was, the end of Gavin Newsom's career. Yes. So it's going to be in the history books forever.
It's going to be in the National Register of Historic Places. Isn't that what they call it? Or historic sites, something like that. And you get a plaque out front.
It's going to be as big as the Hollywood
like Harriet
sign.
Tubman's house in the South End, right?
All right. So now I want to read you another thing, Howie, from this column that you're going to love, okay? So this is Jennifer Oliver O'Connell. She says, Newsom has already done exactly what 60 Minutes wants to accuse Ron DeSantis of doing, giving special access to political donors. The Cap Radio investigation, that's the name of the company, into Newsom offering no-bid contracts to his most generous donors, presented detailed information on just how much donors contributed to either Newsom's election, re-election, or ballot measure campaigns. Okay, ready for this? As stated above, Newsom awarded contracts to Blue Shield, which in November of 2020 contributed $200,000 to Newsom's ballot measure committee. Lo and behold, in February, Blue Shield was awarded no-bid contracts up to $15 million to lead the state's vaccine distribution. Dun, dun, dun.
And again, I repeat what I said yesterday, that in 2018, when DeSantis was the underdog candidate for the Republican nomination, he was not supported by Publix. Publix supported Adam Putnam, the agricultural commissioner, who's from their headquarters.
Well, it's so funny to me because, I was talking to Carol Markowitz about this today, and we were talking about Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis and how the media, helped elect Donald Trump by hating him so much. But there is a big difference because Trump has this larger than life personality, and he kind of like seeks out controversy sometimes. Ron DeSantis just seems to be all about common sense. Like, he's not breaking the mold. He's not up at 3 a.m. on Twitter. He's just doing, he lives in he governs a state.
He doesn't suffer fools gladly. You recall him from the days when he was involved in the Russian collusion hoax. I mean, he was one of the best guys at punching back. That's why Trump endorsed him over Putnam. Putnam was the Republican establishment candidate among Republicans. By the way, McKay, my assistant who works at Publix, he just gave me a sheet. There are 831 Publix markets in Florida. 831. And I think about 700 of them have pharmacies. That's why I'm saying that. That's why I'm saying you can't deal with pharmacies in Florida unless that's like saying you're in New England and you're not going to deal with CVS. You can't do it.
They also have great sushi. I almost forgot that one, Howie.
People are just talking about their favorite things. 978 makes the best fried chicken too. Yeah, they do make good fried chicken. 917 Heroes subs. They're the best. It's a good place.
Not to mention the fact that you can buy your booze there too, which I like. When I'm visiting in Florida, I like to be able to do it all. One fell swoop, as they say. Howie, Grace's News is brought to you by
your wine and your beer.
Yes. Yeah. That gets me through. Grace's News is brought to you by Toyota of Portsmouth, the house of value. I absolutely love my new RAV4 XLE that I got at Toyota of Portsmouth. But even more importantly, I love the process of getting it. Everybody there and the sales team. If you need help with financing, they're all so wonderful, and they have beautiful showrooms with all the latest models. Make sure you check them out. You will not find a better spot, a huge, sparkling, clean showroom, and an incredible staff. They're located just south of the Portsmouth traffic circle off of 95, a very easy location to get to. Go to toyotaofportsmouth.com or visit them at the showroom and tell them I sent you. Howie, one last thing, because I know that this will warm your heart. I saw this tweet today. And I should have sent it to you on your email because you would have smiled. But this guy, Dylan Hausman, I'm not really sure who he is, but he's got a blue check. And he tweets out the old article from last week of a weepy Rochelle Walensky, the CDC director.
Oh, impending doom.
It's been a full week, Howie. And I just want you to know that COVID-19 deaths are down more than 15% since Michelle went off script and talked about her fear of impending doom. Well,
then in this case, she's right, because this is impending doom for the big health pharma industrial complex, right? They want to keep the panic, the hysteria going.
And the people who are sewing Dr. Fauci pillows.
Yeah, it can be confusing.
I'm going to put my Dr. Fauci votive candle next to my Robert Mueller candle.
Yeah, next to your Robert Mueller wallet. Remember they were making those purses and T-shirts and
Where is Robert Mueller? Does Joe ever have him over for a Matlock Film Fest?
Well, you know what, Howie?
Session.
I was thinking today because a lot of people were coming out, including a county commissioner, about this 60 Minutes piece. And so many people in Florida, like high up officials, were coming out and saying, we have to come out and, deny this flat out because it's such fake news. And I was thinking to myself, when was the last time I saw this much of a flat out denial of a story? And it was when Bob Mueller had to come out and deny the BuzzFeed story. Remember, he had to say, normally we put up with your level of crap, guys, but even this is one step too far.
Right. His spokesman, a guy named Carr, I used to, whenever I'd write something about Mueller and with the FBI in Boston suppressing some evidence or something, they'd always send me back a tepid no comment. Right. Mm-hmm. But they even had to put out a no comment. This guy, I'm amazed. One last thing here. We're running out of time. We'll do one on the back. With this guy, this mayor of Palm Beach County, talking about how 60 Minutes came to him and did an interview where he just, as he put it, kneecapped the entire story. And instead of just going away and dropping the story, or at least putting his comment in, they just cut his comment out. Some stories are just too good to check out, Grace, as I've always told you. This was another example of it. Thank you for the news.
Thanks, Howie.
Last summer, I had a dental emergency, and where did I go? Perfect Smiles. I've said this before, but was reminded yet again of what a perfectionist Dr. Houghton is. He is a veneer engineer and a world-class dental artist. Being on TV, it's important that I look my best. Dr. Houghton did that for me, and he can do it for you too. We're in a climate right now where a lot of people don't want to go into the city for any number of reasons. Perfect Smiles is conveniently located in Nashua, New Hampshire, just off the interstate highway. Parking is plentiful and parking is free. I was impressed to see all the state-of-the-art safety protocols they've taken since the virus. You'll feel safe and confident when you visit Perfect Smiles, and believe it or not, it's a more pleasant experience with all the new protocols than it used to be. Dental health is one thing you cannot neglect. It's really painful and really expensive if you let your dental health go to hell. Get to Perfect Smiles and take care of your mouth and your smile. To see for yourself and get your perfect smile, call 1-844-A-PERFECT-SMILE. You can also see my video at perfectsmiles.com. Perfect Smiles. Change your smile, change your life. I'm Howie Carr.
He doesn't do this just for the money.
It's also my pleasure to see to it that
Biden's about to speak.
In this community aren't robbed blind by a